Hello and welcome to Manga Comic TV. Now the question we're here to answer today is, why did Cade Skywalker smash Sith cheeks? Now in Star Wars Legacy issue 17, as Cade Skywalker is in the custody of the One Sith Alliance, he's undergoing training as the One Sith are attempting to convert Cade Skywalker to the dark side and turn him into a Sith. Now during the process of the One Sith attempting to turn Cade to the dark side, Cade Skywalker subsequently ends up fucking the dog shit out of Darth Talon. Now, why did he do this? Now, I know there's going to be some people out there like, why the hell wouldn't he do that? But to understand why Cade Skywalker did this, we must first understand his actions in the earlier part of the series. Now, after the massacre on Ossus, which killed an enormous amount of Jedi, including Cade Skywalker's father, Cole Skywalker, Cade Skywalker ended up being picked up by a group of pirates, and the leader of this group of pirates was named Rav. Now, after working for Rav for so long, Cade eventually managed to get his own ship, which was deemed the Minok, as Cade became a bounty hunter. Now, although Cade used to be a Jedi, he's been hiding his Jedi identity and masquerading as a bounty hunter, and it's funny because a bounty hunter seems to be the go-to occupation for any outcasts that are handy with a lightsaber or a blaster in the galaxy. Now, at one point, Cade is pursuing a bounty on a fellow Jedi, as Cade does not consider himself a Jedi anymore. Cade eventually does apprehend this Jedi, and while delivering the Jedi to Rav, the Jedi can actually sense the Force within Cade. Nevertheless, Cade turns him over to Pirate Rav. Now, after a bunch of bad things happen to Cade Skywalker, he eventually finds himself back on Ossus in a drug-induced coma, as Cade has been using death sticks and he's pretty much trying to commit suicide at this point. But he is found by Jedi Master Kakruk, who uses Force healing to bring Cade back. Now, eventually, as Cade is getting reacquainted with the Force, his fellow Master has tracked him to this location, and now he's training with his master once again, but sometimes he's training with his master and sometimes he's outright fighting with his master because Cade has past transgressions that he can't get over, and thus Cade walks a thin line between the light side and the dark side. Now during Cade's training, he has a vision, and based off the events that occur in that vision, he wants to make things right and recover the Jedi that he turned over to Rav. But the thing is, Rav has subsequently turned that Jedi over to the Sith. Now Cade makes his way to Coruscant, and he manages to infiltrate the old Jedi Temple, which is now the Sith Temple, as the Sith took the Jedi Temple on Coruscant after the massacre on Ossus. Now Cade does eventually successfully infiltrate the Sith Temple on Coruscant, and he does eventually make contact with the Jedi that he turned over to the Sith, but during the whole process of trying to rescue the Jedi, Cade gets ambushed and subsequently incapacitated. Now Cade wakes up in the custody of the One Sith Alliance, who want to use Cade's Force healing powers to heal Darth Krayt, as Darth Krayt is suffering from a Yuzong Vong affliction that he got many years ago. Now, in order to turn Cade to the dark side, they're torturing Cade, but eventually they do assign Cade to Darth Talon to have him undergo rigorous combat training in order to get him closer to the dark side. Now, one thing that's worth noting about Cade Skywalker is Cade does possess the ability to wield the light side and the dark side of the Force, and Cade is basically pretending to go along with this Sith training in order to gain the trust of the One Sith. But Cade does not consider himself a Jedi nor a Sith. To Cade, the light side and the dark side of the Force are simply just tools. Now, as Cade is undergoing this rigorous combat training with Darth Talon, he is basically playing along in order to get her to trust him. But one thing leads to another, and these two can't keep their hands off each other, and in order to maintain the facade, Cade ends up smashing Sith cheeks in the form of Darth Talon. So why did Cade Skywalker smash Sith cheeks? Well, Cade smashed cheeks essentially because he was a Sith prisoner, and at this point, he was masquerading as a Sith, trying to get them to trust him. So in order to keep up the masquerade, Cade hooked up with Darth Talon. That combined with the fact that Cade has been held captive for weeks and he hadn't even smelled pussy for a long ass time, and you probably would have done it too. Then on top of that, look at Darth Talon. So what it really comes down to is, why the fuck not? Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Peace.